Hello, floss tubies and floss tubers. It's Jules, and we're back again with another. I'm going to start calling these things Stitch With Me because I think I confused some people by calling them Stitch-alongs, and because of that, I think everybody else seems to call it Stitch With Me, so I should do a Stitch With Me. So stitch with me, people. Pick up pick up your favorite project, or the one that you got to get done, that Christmas present for so-and-so that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get it done. And let's start working on this. It's Thanksgiving weekend, November something, something, something. And we are, get this out of the way. And we are stitching mightily. So I tried to do this last night. I really wanted to get this stitch along done yesterday. We were very, very busy. Let me make sure I do this right. I got the camera set up completely different today, but I'll tell you about that in a sec. I really wanted to do this last night, and I ended up just, oh my gosh, a technical problem after technical problem. And because of that, man, I've got to get this thing straightened out here. I'm on the bottom left of this pattern, so the part where you've got like the most fabric to deal with. Sorry, I'm also just trying to get this focused in as best as possible. And so, and some light if possible. I've got some natural light in here, but not enough, clearly. And sorry guys, I'm just trying to get this figured out here. So I had all kinds of technical difficulties last night. They're kind of extending into the morning. The sun was a little better probably about 45 minutes ago. And of course, because it's winter, the natural sunlight in this room, it moves further south. So it hits a different area of the room. But I've got the light on. It's not very bright though. I should bring in, the next time around, I should probably bring in my stand-up light. But I need to get better lighting because I think this is going to be where I do most of my stitch-alongs. I'm super sorry about this, guys. Try focusing again. A little better. Anyway, hold on, I lost my needle. There it is. Did a bad job with that one. So, oh man, I couldn't get the lighting right last night. Trying to do these at night close up doesn't work. And so that was the bad part. I got so frustrated finally. I was like, that's it, I can't possibly get this done. And so my husband was like, all right, let's just go to dinner. And so we just went to dinner and came back, and I was able to get some stitching done. I decided to just give up the idea. I wanted to stitch in the natural light this morning and see if it was a little better. And it is, but I still need more light. If I put it down here, it's not bad, but then it's not as close as you guys want. My camera, sadly, does not go down any lower, so we're just going to be stuck with this for now. Trying to focus it. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna stitch and talk, and hopefully y'all can hear and see. I am getting a new camera, like a real camera, because we wanted to get one for when we go on our honeymoon this coming summer-ish, late spring. And so we got a new camera, or we're getting one, it's coming. Of course I bought it from Amazon, because I buy everything from Amazon. And that's kind of thing I got about a week. So when my mom's here, I'll probably have it. And so we're gonna probably start shooting my videos with that. And that will probably be a much better quality than what this is. But no worries. But anyway, it was kind of, it's funny now in retrospect, thinking about how I was trying to do this last night, because I actually like the stand kept falling over, and then I'd sit down and I couldn't get the angle right, and then yeah, it's still not perfect. All right, we're just gonna have to both kind of just deal with it. I gotta get stitching done, man. I did not get hardly any stitching done yesterday. I've had my 4-day weekend, and I am woefully behind on the amount of stitching that I thought I would do. Thursday, I got a lot of stitching done. Friday, I got some stitching done. What was I doing on Friday? I don't even remember. But I cleaned, I know that. And then I got some stitching done. But yesterday, I thought I would get a ton done. I just came out of there. Put it back in the needle. Oh. I thought I'd get a lot more done yesterday. We actually went out. I went to this stitching shop yesterday. Shout out to those guys if anybody's watching the video. Apparently some of them watch my videos now, so that's pretty cool. But I was just looking to see if there's any new patterns and some inspiration. And I thought they would. I went kind of early because I was like, well, I want to avoid the rush. Look at that, I did that wrong. No, I didn't. I'm fine. But I thought I would avoid the rush, but I didn't bring any, fabric dimensions or anything to start, because everything that I can start right now, or should be working on, already has the fabric and everything. So I'm good. I'm good. But it was good to see those guys and hang out and look at a few other things and get some ideas and get inspired. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go home and get some stitching done. And I came home. Oh, the other thing we did was we stopped at my favorite aquarium store, and we got some new fish and a few bits and bobs that I've been needing for the other aquariums to kind of make them look better. The only thing that I didn't get that I wanted was live plants. I like they make plants that are actually like grown in almost like from a tissue culture in a sense. So they're sort of grown like lab-wise, and they've never been exposed to any bacteria or anything like that. So they're safe to put in your tank because they won't bring diseases in, and which is huge. So let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1. So they barely had any. I think I wonder if they're just not going to be selling much of those going forward. But I really like them. I've got the one tank where they're just going. They start off with these little bitty things, and they've just taken over the tank, and it's an awesome tank. And it's the one that I have like the dinosaur Bashir or dinosaur fish, and I have what's the word? The loach, the eel-looking thing called Digit, and like I said, the big angelfish. Now the little angelfish apparently has disappeared, which means he's died, and it's about time. I could have done some things maybe to sort of save him a little bit, but the more I looked at him, I'm like, well, he is eating and he is doing this or that, and obviously he was being picked on by the dinosaur fish. All right, I'm going to put this right here while I change my thread here. He was obviously, doing something, and but just not enough of that something. And so he didn't make it, which I was like, all right, that's good. Now everybody that's in the tank is healthy and doing well. So I just did like a water change and got some fresh water in all the tanks. But the big thing, and I'm going to do a video on this later, a big thing was I got some new fish for my tiny little tank that I've actually never shown. When I was going through my big aquarium craziness early in the year, I got some different tanks, and the one that I got that I really liked was more of a vertical, about 2-gallon, maybe 3-gallon tank, and it was more of a vertical tank, so straight up and down. Man, I'm gonna need to start using my glasses more. My glasses when I'm doing my stitching, I think. Starting to have problems threading a needle. Oh, getting older. But I got some cool, called Endin, something like that. They're some sort of wild guppies, and they're teeny tiny. And that's exactly what I wanted, because I have all these like little nooks and crannies and caves. And honestly, the cool thing is that tank to me was the best aquascaping that I've done out of all the aquascaping that I've done. So I was supremely happy with that tank. And then I just waited forever to put fish in it. And don't ask me why. I reached a saturation point with how I felt about it. And I was just like, yeah, I want to just grow the tanks that I have now and see how everybody does and kind of go from there. And so, but we got 4 little ones, and I spent the whole afternoon acclimating them very slowly to the tank, because the smaller the fish, the more susceptible they are to changes in their environment. And so I just did not want to, I want to try and maximize survival. And the few times that I've lost fish within a couple of days of putting them in a tank were because I believe that I just didn't go slow enough with acclimating them. And so all 4 little fish are alive this morning, and they're eating. They look very hungry. They're darting around. They're so tiny, but they look so good in that tank. And so now I just need to go and find some plants that I want to put in to finish that tank up. So I'm pretty pleased with it. And then I think eventually I might get a couple tiny little red shrimp, add a little color to that tank. But for now, I'm super pleased that I finally got it going, to be perfectly honest. I lost a snail. The snail that I had 2 snails in with the betta tank, and I don't know what happened, but one of the snails died. And he's definitely dead because he's on his back. He's empty. So the other one didn't make it. But the one that's alive is actually the darker purpley black gray one, which is actually more of my favorite in there. And he is growing and he is exploring. So I'm just going to leave it like that. I need to put plants in that tank too. And I got a new piece of wood that I really like, and I'm going to take one of the one of the big rocks that are in there out of there, put the wood in, and put all kinds of cool plants on it, so that it has a more natural feel and a more natural look for the way that bettas live in the wild. So I just want to provide a better lifestyle for, better quality of life for these guys. And then the other tank, the ones with the big orange parrotfish in them, I put a background. I put it like I thought it was a blue background, but when I put it on, it turned black. So I think I need to reverse it so that it's more blue, so that the fish show up a little bit better. And I put that up there, and I think they already feel a little bit more at home. But then the other thing I did was I got these Denver Broncos aquarium decorations, and I put them in there, and they were all freaked out about that this morning. Or when I put them in, they're like, "What is this?" And but I put a couple in there just to give a little bit more color and fun to the tank. And that snail, Possum, which I'm going to name Possum because he played possum forever, acting like he was dead. And there we go. That'd be good. And so he was cleaning the football helmet this morning. So I was like, yeah, Possum likes it. So, and my husband has given me the deadline that I have to get the salt water tank, some coral, on Thursday. And which is good. I've had a saltwater tank for months, and I've been chicken to actually finally progress. Because it's scary. I don't want to kill things. And so I was in a real aquarium kick, like beginning of the year. I was crazy about fish and aquarium, and it kind of ran out a little bit, but I'm back in it. I love I love my guys. Love my guys. And I like the challenge of taking care of them and having them flourish and grow. That to me is so awesome. But anyway, so we went and did that, and aquarium store. So now I'm gonna learn how to use all that. So there we go. So despite the fact that it felt like I didn't get anything accomplished yesterday, I actually got quite a lot done when I look back on it. Oh, I want to talk to you guys about that post I put on my blog. In case you guys haven't heard, I do have a blog, stitchingjules.com. Stitchingjules.com. I put a post yesterday morning up about some Etsy stores that I thought were cool, and that I was recommending. And I ended up recommending a store that I ended up removing later in the day from that list. And the store was the one that I actually purchased from. So now I feel like a real dork. Hold on, I'm going to change my thread. And just show you the back. There you go. This particular project's a little bit messy, but I don't care. So I recommended this one store. They had a lot of really cool, like, African-American art, really awesome sort of painting-based patterns that, I also need to mark off colors here, hold on. Painting-based patterns that were just beautiful, you know? I was like, wow, I really like this artist's work, and everything's cool. And then thankfully, to be perfectly honest with you, I mentioned it to Christine at her stitching shop. I was like, hey, check out this store. It's just really cool. And she took a look at it and she goes, that probably is a fake, like a copyright infringement. And I was like, well, why do you say that? And she's like, well, first of all, she's like, the store name's kind of weird. Or maybe she didn't tell me that. Maybe I was thinking that. But she's like, you know, the patterns are really, really cheap and they look like really nice paintings. So it's possible that somebody just literally ripped the file, like copied the painting like as a computer file and then printed a pattern out from that. But she says the problem with that is because it's not done from the original, you are going to get, it's not going to look good when you actually do the pattern. It's going to be fuzzy. The colors won't be sharp as they should and make it look good. It'll just come out as a fuzzy pattern. And so she's like, you know, you might just want to see if that's, you know, copyright infringement. So I was like, oh man, I just felt like a total gullible person. Gullible. And so sure enough, I was trying to, while we were out, I was trying to Google it with my phone, trying to figure out, okay, is this picture someplace else? My phone was not being terribly helpful yesterday. I really needed my desktop. So when I got home, and there's a really cool feature. So here's the thing, and I think I'll do a post on this if and when this gets confirmed that this is copyright infringement. So I'll do a post on how to, when you're looking at a pattern, maybe from an Etsy store, to determine whether or not it's like legal or good or not. Oh, man, I'm just getting in the way of this poor light. So if you see a picture, you can click on that, you can right click on that picture and it'll say something at the bottom of your options, because it always says, like, you know, save image or your copy image address or something like that. You can actually, there's a function to like search Google for something similar or something along those lines, where it actually somehow analyzes what it is and looks for similar projects. So I did that and it came upon this site, and I think I wanted to say it was like the Black Art Depot or something, and the artist's name was Frank Morrison. And I gotta say that because this guy's work is really cool. And I found it, and sure enough, I found a couple of patterns or pictures that were on his site, and they were kind of expensive. They're going for like $400, and the cross stitch pattern was only like $3. So I was like, haha, and I went ahead and shot those guys an email yesterday and said, hey, I just, you know, I found this site. selling your patterns as cross-stitch, or your paintings as cross-stitch patterns. They're so beautiful, I'd like to do one, but I don't want to do it if it's illegal, if it's a copyright infringement. So can you check it out? And I sent them the link to the store. So we'll see what they say. And then I'm gonna, I'm only out $3. And that's the other thing. If they're super cheap, then literally what it is that they're just trying to make a quick buck by stealing other people's work. And then shortchanging cross-stitchers, the jerks. So, but the good thing is that now that I know kind of what to look for and how to do it, I might become an Etsy cross-stitching avenger, and just keep my eyes out for that and report people if I think they might be copyright infringements. Because personally, I'm like, there's so many legit cross-stitching sites. It isn't good for our hobby to have people breaking the law. When they're doing this. I don't like it. I'm a stickler for doing things the right way. And so, anyway, so we'll find out about that. I took them off my Etsy post, and then if I do find out that it's counterfeit, then I will write a post about that and apologize. I should apologize anyway, because I'm sorry that I linked to these frauds. And so-called frauds, alleged frauds. We'll see. But so the other reason why I didn't get a whole lot done yesterday was because I ended up taking a nap, and it's all my husband's fault. Because when we got back we had a big lunch, and we've been running around all morning. And when we got back home, and I was working on my aquarium stuff, and he fell asleep upstairs watching a movie, and I was like, where is he? What's he doing? And when I got to a point where I could take a break, and I went upstairs, found him asleep, and I was like, all right, well, I'll just kind of lay down here with him for a while. Now, the problem is that most people, and him, they sleep for like a half an hour, 45 minutes max, and they wake up and they feel great. I never do that. If I'm going to take a nap, I'm like, I don't know, what's the difference between like, there's naps and then there's like extended naps, because my naps are like 2 to 3 hours when I sleep, and I seem to need that. And so that's indeed what I did. And I wasn't happy about it, because when I woke up, it was like after 5, and I'm like, oh man, I haven't done the stitch along, I haven't done this or that. And I woke up just kind of out of sorts. And I think that was why I couldn't get that stitch along done last night, because I was so just a little bit out of my mind. Like the pressure was on, my brain was racing. I'm like, oh, I gotta get stuff done. So when we got back from dinner, sorry guys, I gotta put my needle back in here. You can see my Star Wars pattern right here. I got back, and I ended up working on my mom's project, the Prayer St. Francis one, because I gotta get that done today so that I can take it over to the framers tomorrow, so that it has a hope of being done while she's here. So we're just gonna see. I don't feel any pressure about it. Worst case scenario, it doesn't get done until after she's home, and I'll just send it to her as a Christmas, it's a Christmas present anyway, but so we'll see. So, but I did get a lot of work done on that one last night, so that one made me very happy. Ow! I stabbed myself. Alrighty. Gonna go out and watch football here shortly. I haven't been out to watch football with one of my buddies in quite a while. We've both been very busy with things, and sorry, I'm just staring this down for a second. And so we're gonna go out. Thankfully we're only watching like the first half of games. We're just gonna watch a little football, catch up with each other, and then run along from there, which is great, because like I said, I gotta get my mom's project done. I still need to get some cleaning stuff done, and so that will be how we do that. Okay. Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. If you're in the States, and if you're not in the States, I hope you guys have had a great weekend so far. It's a very warm day in Colorado, and it's a beautiful day. I mean, for it being late November, it's a very beautiful day. It's going to be like 65, I think. And it's not stitching. Well, let's not go there. Every weather is stitching weather. So let's just say that right off the bat. It's like, it's not stitching weather. You know, when it gets kind of cold and it's like snowing outside, then I'm like, oh yeah, stitching weather. But not so much this time. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video here. I'm gonna do a second part 2, and you guys, you know, I don't need to really tell you that. I'm just gonna do that, but I'm gonna do a part 2. But I just want to make sure that my camera does the right thing. So we're gonna go ahead and stop it here. Then we're picking right back up right away, and that's good. Whoa! See, I got to work on this camera setup. There's so many things that I got to work on, which is awesome. You know, I like being busy. I mean, I don't sit around and just do one thing. If you guys wonder, like, I make a lot of progress every week on my stuff. I seem to get a lot of stitching done. I do stitch fast on certain things, like this particular project I stitch fast on, but the other thing is you know, I don't ever do just like one thing. Well, the only time I can do one thing is like if I'm on the computer doing something. And even then I'm probably listening to like a YouTube video, and I tend to listen to YouTube videos that are educational in some way. Sometimes I watch videos on how to do better videos. Sometimes I watch them on, today I'm going to be watching a lot more videos on saltwater aquarium care so that I can get that tank ready this week. You know, I watch a lot of different things, and a lot of it's educational. And, you know, I was going through a rut, and with the stitching, I was just, you know, like, as much as I wanted to stitch, I wasn't stitching enough. Like, I think it was Friday. It's like I thought I got stitching done, but I really wasn't. There we go. And it's hard for me to like see this. My eyes aren't focusing properly today either. So, especially with this camera. But anyway, so I started watching some more floss tube videos, and got me inspired again. And so I got back into the groove, and I'm definitely in the groove today, so that's a good thing. Get some stuff done. Now, what I didn't tell you guys, I just started this up. You may have noticed, you may not have noticed, it's hard to say. I finished another page on Ready Waterloo Place. Totally did. And the good news about that is that I'm on the last page of this side. So I've, you know, it's like 7 pages across and 4 pages down. And this is page 4 of the down. And I've already gotten the top row all the way across. So once I get this bottom part page done, then you'll be able to see the full dimensions of it. And then I'll just start filling stuff in. But I think I'm making some progress. So I didn't want to do the Prayer of St. Francis because using the magnifiers on that particular pattern, I get pretty close to the pattern, and I just don't think I could have filmed that properly. So what I did was I did that last night, and I wanted to start, and I am starting this week, the Lizzie Kate, the one that says something about I'm only one person, I can't do everything, but I can do something. And I really want to get started on that one. That one's for me, and I really want to get that up and get that done. that's going to be another quick finish, I think. And so, and if I really wanted to be good, since I'm taking my mom's project in tomorrow, I could look and see if I can get Yoda out and clean Yoda up. And go from there, and take him in. We'll see. Let's not get ahead of myself here. I may just clean him up when my mom's in town, because I feel like I'm going to get a lot of stuff done when my mom's in town. Mom has a way of, I don't know, we just get stuff done when she's here. She'd be like, all right, what do you need to get done? Let's make a list. Let's do it. She is like so motivated, so organized. You think I'm motivated and you think I'm like, you know, crazy energy and whatnot. I get it from my mom, and my mom is so impressive as far as just, I mean, her motivation level is just through the roof. And had we put her on the problem of like world hunger or cancer or something like way back when, and trained her as a small child or whatever, you know, in whatever field we wanted her to go in, we made so much progress, because she just never stops. She just never stops, which is awesome. Is the cat in here? I can't remember if I put the cat outside or inside. I'm in the cat's room, so to speak. This has the best natural lighting in the house. So we've set up a table in here, and I'm in here working. For whatever reason, I like to change my atmosphere, like my stitching atmosphere periodically, or my stitching surroundings, because I don't know, sometimes it just remotivates me just to keep working, get stuff done. And here. Start some new thread here. Let's see. Hold on a second. I gotta highlight a bunch of stuff. You see, I'm wearing my purple bathrobe. Well, it's not a bathrobe. It's just a around the house kind of robe. Highlight. What else did I get done? Because I got more done on this page. So I haven't gridded beyond this top row, this page. I had somebody ask me about how to grid, and I'm definitely gonna, like I said, I definitely want to do that video, which is the big, my neck, where I had to, where I'm going to show how to do like one of these how to set up these big cross-stitching projects. And I'm going to show everything at that point, but I've only gridded the top line on this page. I have the vertical lines, but only the top line. So I'm just going to work across here for now. And I need to find my blue pen, and then I'll mark down, but really I just have like that much more to go, ish, here to here, and then this side will be done. And then we'll just be making magic happen. So, anybody buy anything real crazy for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all that good stuff? Like I said, we bought the camera for the upcoming honeymoon. And it's not just a honeymoon, but it's definitely like a vacation. I lost my scissors. There they are. And I just don't, in my life, and when we were kids, like the vacations that my parents took, like when we would go to like Disney World or spring training or just different things, we'd always take like a summer trip. And since becoming an adult, I just don't take vacations. If I take a vacation, I usually stay home. Like if I'm like, oh, I'm going to take a 4-day weekend, I stay home. I don't go anywhere. Now, when I got, and if I did go someplace, it was always to visit family. So, visit some family, get some stuff done, help them out, whatever needed to be done. And so, since getting married, we've taken some short trips. Like, we'll go to the mountains. We'll go up to Estes Park for like a couple of days. Never longer than a couple of days, though. And we did do a couple short trips this year. We've taken 3 trips together, like airport trips, and all of them have been to see family. Twice to see my family and once to see his. So we just, we're not vacation people. And we could be. We just don't do it. Vacations are expensive, man. And, but, so, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Sorry, guys. So anyway, so we're taking this big, going to Seattle, flying to Seattle, staying there a day or 2, and then we're going to hop on a cruise ship, go up to someplace in Alaska, and then start working our way back down, sort of an inland passage kind of a thing. And then we stop in Victoria, Canada, British Columbia, and so that's why we needed our passports, because we're going to Canada. And this won't be till the beginning of May, so no super cold, no crazy cold. It'll be cold, which will be fun, but it won't be super cold. So that's a good one. That's going to be like about a 10-day trip, and something that I'm looking forward to. I definitely am going to try to enjoy myself as much. I'm going to take stitching, that's for sure. I'll take probably just like one project though, and get massive amount of stuff done on that one, because I just love stitching so much. It's part of my relaxation, so I want to, I'm going to bring it, because if I don't do that, what else am I going to do? I could eat the whole time, but I don't want to come back 20 pounds more than I started out after just a week. But we very much looking forward to it, so we'll see how it goes. Excuse me. Husband went down to check on the bees a little while ago, so thinking about him. But it's not a big he's not really opening up the hive a whole lot. He's just opening the top real quick, putting in some food for him at the very top of the hive, and that's about it. He shouldn't really disturb them too much. It's a little warmer today, but he's going down early enough that I think the bees will still just be kind of hanging out, not doing a whole lot. And so he's let's go back and do these. So that's what he's going to be doing. Get my stitch along done. There's just no way our internet's been kind of wonky today, so I'm not sure what's going on with that, but it's I'm probably not going to get this whole thing uploaded before I go to watch some football, so I'm probably going to just upload this when I get back. So it'll be like mid-afternoon Eastern Standard Time before it gets out, but at least it'll get out. And it taught me a lesson on preparing ahead. I mean, you'd think with having like the time off this week, I gotta snag again. With having the time off this week, that I would have actually been more prepared. But no, of course not. There we go. Of course, then I pull it out over here. Perfect. Perfection. Face is sealed up quite nicely. Hardly noticeable from the bite wound. So it's all good. Got some more barbecue the other day. I did my weekly update and I showed you guys that. Oh man, it's so good. That mac and cheese is just out of this world, man. I need to make some at home, but if I make some at home, then it just takes away from the specialness of the mac and cheese. And, you know, it's all about the specialness. But we'll see. We'll see. I've not been doing as well with my intermittent fasting from this 4-day holiday. I've just been kind of... It's so much easier to do a fasting type program where you're just drinking water in the morning when you're at work. You know, if I'm at work, then I'm so busy that it doesn't, you know, I'm really not hungry. And, but I also haven't really seen results as much as I thought I would. But I feel better. I mean, the results are there in terms of just how much better I feel, how much less hungry I am. You know, I mean, and I know the results will come. And I bet you, like I said, my results are, I'm a little bit more focused about getting my cholesterol down. And I think that it will help with that. I'm not sure when I'm getting my blood drawn next, but, you know, everybody is so different. So I think some people, definitely it helps them more. And if I was a bit more disciplined, I think, and I need to work out, you know, it's not like I can just, you know, at a woman's age of, you know, mid-40s, when you want to lose some weight, you've got to exercise. I mean, there's just no way it's going to come off with just diet. Your body is not going to want to do that. So I do need to exercise and do, you know, and for me, I can either walk, get on the stationary bike we have downstairs. And the stationary bike is probably the better option for me just because time, just hop on the bike, get it going, get it rocking, get it rolling. I'm kind of hungry right now, though. That doesn't bode well. But, oh well. It's, I said I'm going to cheat again today, and then Monday I'm going to start back up again. It's kind of ridiculous. I tend not to have tremendous amounts of willpower. Sorry, I got to take a drink. Throat's getting dry. My allergies have been acting up because it's so dry here in Colorado. My allergies are acting up, which is crazy for late November. But such is life. 1, 2, 3. A stitch here. Thanks for checking out the blog, though, guys. That really is very cool. And I just like doing it. You know, I like doing it. It keeps me motivated in so many ways. And it's definitely something that I'm doing now in anticipation of this being a big focus of my life when I mean, it's already a big focus, but when I retire in, I don't know, 10 years or more, that it will at that point be a great, you know, second career / second hobby or primary hobby, something to, you know, to keep me occupied, doing everything. So that's my goal with it. So I'm glad you guys have been watching and enjoying it, and it's just going to get better. You know, the more I work on it, the more I put stuff in, the better it's going to get. And it's not something that happens overnight. It's something that, you know, I've done this before. I think I mentioned before, I used to have like a sports blog, and and I wrote a lot of sports articles and stuff, and I did that for like 2 years, and it kind of built up, but then I reached a point where I kind of ran out of gusto for it, you know. I mean, I was writing a lot, and it was all about like sports stuff, and it was right around the time that I was having my, I think it was my first neck surgery, so I was going through a lot of recovery issues with that, and I just kind of ran out of mojo for it, so I stopped doing it, and I just never came back to it. But when I was putting together like the idea of doing this blog and everything, I kind of got that mojo again, and which was good because it's so much fun. Hold on, I'm just checking to see where I need to be. All right, rock and roll. We almost went over to Grandma's house yesterday, which was that Denver cross-stitching / microbrew place or whatever. But they don't open until like, I think it was like noon or something on Saturday. And we had this plan of attack in terms of like, we're going to go here, we're going to go there. And we weren't going to be up in that area anymore after we did that. So we just ended up coming back home and you know, taking naps. So, but naps are important. Naps are great stress relievers. Well, it wasn't for me. It actually created a lot of stress because I wasted so much time. And, well, I don't know, is a nap ever a waste? If your body tells you that you're sleepy and that you need to sleep, and if you sleep as long as I do, clearly your body needed that. So, oh well. I just needed to let go of my anxiety about that. And then once I did that, everything was fine. And I got stitching done. And my husband ended up watching, what did he watch? He watched that new the newest Spider-Man movie last night. And he really liked it. He's a big comic book fan. And sorry guys. And we both were not real big on the last couple of, you know, the trilogy Spider-Man stuff they tried to do. I just wasn't a fan of just honestly all of that. All right, Jules, remember which color you're doing. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm talking and I'm not paying attention, guys. But we were, you know, I could hear it from when I was stitching up here, but he was really enjoying it. Thought it was really good, pretty funny. The Spider-Man, the kid that does this Spider-Man is pretty awesome. Very good at it, and which is great. I actually like this kid. His name is Tom something something. And I first caught wind of this kid when he did a movie called I want to say it was like The Incredible or something like that. It was a movie that came out maybe about 3 years ago, and it was one that Naomi Watts got nominated Best Actress in an Oscar. I don't think she won, but she was nominated. And honestly, Tom did such a great job in the movie that he should have been nominated, but he wasn't. If they had a kids section, he would have been nominated because he was outstanding. And from that, I've been watching his career and just kind of seeing where he's going with it. But he, oh man, he was so good in the movie. But what it's about was the Christmas tsunami in, what was it, Indonesia, was it Myanmar? I can't remember. I apologize for that, but I can't quite remember exactly where it was. But anyway, he, Thailand, maybe? He was there. Anyway, so it's a story of this, it's a real life story actually, of this Spanish family that was spending their Christmas holiday there. And, sorry, I'm just counting. And how they got caught up in the tsunami and how they're, you know, the family had 3 sons, mother, father, 3 sons, and how they fared through it. And Ewan McGregor plays the father, and the other kids are adorable, and it's really gut-wrenching. It's a very, you know, I cried. I mean, I cried everything, but I really cried at that movie. But it's a really great movie. So well done. So I highly recommend that movie. And especially if you liked the Spider-Man movie and want to see more of that kid. Oh, the dogs are still out. I hope my husband puts them up before he leaves. But at least they're inside. They like to just bark. And the one that just barked was the Chihuahua. You can't hear it, I don't think. But the one that was just barking was the Chihuahua. So he always instigates. He's the instigator. Chief instigator. But wow, I can't believe the second half of this video went by so fast, guys. I'm going to stop it here and attempt to try to upload this and get this done, depending upon how fast the internet is. But thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for stitching with me. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And I'll be getting some stitching done, be putting some blog posts done. But I'll be talking to you guys soon, seeing you soon. So have a great one. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Leave a comment, ask questions, and we'll see you next time. Bye.